Thanks for watching this video. In this video we're going to talk about two different things. Towards the end we're going to talk about how to find the best hotel deal in Washington, D.C. But first we're going to walk through some of the suggested locations we think are best for your stay after you've taken the quiz. So let's start with that. So if you're flying into BWI and you plan to visit Washington, D.C., there's basically two different options to get from BWI into Washington, D.C. And as a result, we've also kind of outlined on this page the best places to stay. They make it simple to catch the train or the bus back to the airport and vice versa. So if you would like to take the train from BWI to Washington, D.C., this is done through the MARC train. The first thing you'll need to do when you get off the plane is go and find the shuttle that takes you from the airport to the actual MARC station. So this is about a 10-minute shuttle ride, and once you're there you can board the train, and there's two stations that make the most sense for finding a hotel and staying in Washington, D.C. So that first station is the new Carrollton station. This is located in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. There's one hotel within walking distance to the MARC train and the metro. So basically you could get off the MARC, check into your hotel, then walk back over and hop aboard the metro into Washington, D.C. and use that daily to get in and out of the city. The other option would be to take the MARC all the way to Union Station, which is in downtown D.C. It's only a few blocks from the Capitol building. The problem here is that hotels are going to be awfully expensive during the week. During the weekend, hotel rates will drop a lot during Friday and Saturday nights because business travelers leave D.C. So if you're coming on the weekend, maybe best to prioritize Union Station for most other people. New Carrollton will work out best. The other option to get from BWI to DC is to utilize two different bus routes. And there is a bus that will take you to Shady Grove, which is the last stop on the Metro Red Line, or it takes you to Greenbelt, which is almost one of the last stops on the Green Line. So once you get to Shady Grove, you could obviously then hop the metro and go further into the city and find a hotel near the metro, which our site can help you do. You could also stay at Shady Grove and get a hotel that has a shuttle to and from the metro station. The drawback to Shady Grove and Greenbelt is that you really don't have any hotels that are within a short walk to the metro. And with Greenbelt, you don't have any hotels that actually will shuttle you over to the metro station. So if you're going to go with the bus option and you want to save money by staying outside of DC, you can look into Shady Grove. And then, of course, you can always just metro further into the city and stay somewhere. So that's just a kind of a quick overview of how to manage getting from BWI to DC. Hopefully this page explains everything and is helpful. Alright, so if you're flying into Dulles Airport and you're going to visit Washington, D.C., there are a couple of different ways to manage the logistics of getting from the airport to either downtown Washington, D.C. or to a hotel that's in a good location close to the metro, which will make visiting all the attractions a lot easier in D.C. So the first choice that we usually recommend is that people utilize the 5A Express bus route that goes directly from the Dulles Airport to either the Roslyn Metro Station or the L'Enfant Plaza Metro Station. And the only drawback here will be if you're flying into DC during rush hour, you could expect to spend what might be 45 minutes to an hour in the bus. Which could be a little bit troublesome, especially if you're returning to your flight. So that's one downside of the bus, but it does offer the most direct route to pretty good locations for tourists. And just to walk you through the pros and cons. So LaFont is actually just south of the National Mall in downtown DC. You'll find that the area is kind of made up of like big government agency buildings, but it offers a really quick walk to the National Mall. So this might be good for families who, or people who just really want to prioritize seeing museums and monuments, and just staying close to everything. Obviously, the drawback there is that hotels can be a little more expensive, and there isn't a whole lot to do around the immediate area. With Roslyn, you can stay at many different hotels at a couple different price points. Roslyn is probably like a 12 to 15 minute ride to the Smithsonian stop on the National Mall. And Roslyn, you can also just walk right across the Key Bridge and go to Georgetown. So it'll get you one stop closer to Dulles in terms of the bus ride. And it's also a good place to stay in general. And you can read more about Roslyn and LaFont here by clicking the links. The other alternative that you can use from the Dulles Airport is to connect to the Metro Silver Line, and there's an express bus that will do that routinely from Dulles Airport. And of course, once you get on the Metro, then you can kind of commute into different areas that are between Dulles and downtown DC, and we talk about those areas right here on the page, with our recommendations being taking a look at Ballston or Spring Hill. Eventually, the Metro will connect directly with Dulles, which is good. This choice kind of adds a little bit of rigmarole. You're going to have to get a shuttle, then get to the Metro, then take the Metro to a location where your hotel is. Whereas with the first option with the bus, you kind of just go directly to perhaps your hotel destination. So this is just a quick kind of overview of what's available, and thanks a lot.